Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm Jake Patton. Welcome, aka Big Jake 88. Welcome to my YouTube channel on Eye for Horror. So today I'd like to talk about 5 movies, um, and a few couple stories behind them. I guess I don't know. So here we go. The first one, House of a Thousand Corpses. I love this movie, love it, and it it starts off great, and ends great. And but back in 2003, I first saw the movie. I didn't get it. It went over my head, so I thought it sucked. And then a few years later, I watched it again. Like, this is really good, and it was a blind buy. But anyways, so I love the movie. But I guess what I want to talk about is the cut that we never got to see. That was like the original cut is around 80 something minutes, and the uncut version that included more gore and everything, and a few more, I think, plot details about, but just more was 109 minutes, and that version was only screened once in Argentina in 2003 at some film festival. Now I'm wondering, me and everyone else who cares about this movie, what happened to that film? That cut, because that sucks that we were denied this. It was just supposed to, it was supposedly more darker, just more, I don't know, just they cut out a lot of stuff. I mean, what we got, is really good, but I just I just wonder what the people that got to see the movie, at that film festival. I would like to talk to someone who was there. What was it like? I mean, 2003. It's too bad. There's not like someone who had a camcorder there. That they could conceal and they recorded. Even though it'd be a shitty cam version, it'd be cool to see though. The full the original cut of House of a Thousand Corpses. But then people at Universal, because got they didn't like all the violence, so yeah, just that just sucks. Okay, the next one is a 1983 classic directed by Robert Hosek, Sleepaway Camp. Now I love this movie. I think it's just awesome. Um, and I love the sequels: Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers; Sleepaway Camp 3, Teenage Wasteland. Different actors played Angela, Pamela Springsteen, Bruce Springsteen's sister. And the original, in this one, Felissa Rose plays Angela, and she does a fantastic job. But and then there's a Return to Sleepaway Camp from 2008, which directed by the same director, but he tried. I'll give him that. He tried. Well, maybe I don't. I mean, I'm being nice when I say he tried. I don't think he tried too hard. He could have tried harder. Son of a bitch! I hate when this gets dislodged. But anyways, yeah, you know, and he created the character Alan. Ugh. People think Franklin from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre was bad. I love Franklin. I would hang out with Franklin, character, Alan from Return to Sleepaway Camp. Oh, shudder. Anyways, but all right. I mean, before I get off track, back to Sleepaway Camp. Okay, so the scene where Mike and Judy are making out, and then the Mel comes in, and then then after that, quickly Mike leaves, and then it's and then we see a shadowy figure in the doorway, and Judy's trying to figure out who it is, and she goes, "Oh, it's you." Okay, and then the shadowy figure. Well, okay, if you don't know who it is, it's Angela, right? But it was actually the actor Jonathan Tierstein who played Ricky in a wig. Anyways, so Judy is killed with a curling iron, and I mean it's kind of hard to it's unmistakable. It's unmistakable where what Angela did with the curling iron. Um, Although I guess it could be left up to the imagination. But there was supposedly they recorded a scene that would show the aftermath of that, and apparently, everyone thought it went too far, and So they destroyed it, which fine. Yeah, if I mean, like my friend Scott says, theater of the mind, right? Instead of showing us that scene, we get to our minds create you know something even worse maybe than what we would have seen had they left that scene in. Or but I don't know, I just you know that scene though, I wonder what that would have looked like. I almost wish that they wouldn't have destroyed it. Maybe kept it around, and somehow when the Blu-ray came around, they still had it and they included it as an extra or something. I'm always going to wonder what and I just found out about this from you know people who've done their research. But what would that scene have looked like? I mean, what? But just kind of interesting. I mean, some people, you know, they you know they don't get that Angela took the curling iron and stuck it up in a very private place. But yeah. But I would have liked to have seen what that would have looked like. Oh well. This one, classic, 1988, shit, 87. But the John Carl Buechler classic, Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. Love this movie. It's the first movie where Kane Hodder plays Jason. And in the previous installment, Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, CJ Graham played Jason, and he did fantastic. But I'm really glad that Kane Hodder played Jason because he just brought something different to Jason. And I'm not gonna go into all that. I love CJ Graham. I just met him back in August, and that was awesome. But anyways, so they had an uncut version of Part 7 with where the kills were so much more gorier, and it was brutal. And the MPAA didn't like all their violence, and they kept sending it back. So John Carl Buechler had to trim more of this movie. And there was a work print copy of some of the kills or something like that. Not the full movie, unfortunately. And they ended up as an extra on the 2009 DVDs, but which also I think there's also extras on here because they ported the extras over. But I just wonder what would that film have looked like? It could have been the goriest, bloodiest Friday the 13th so far. That's what the fans went to the movies to see. It's like they, whoever made the decision to cut this film is so stupid. I mean, okay, I will say, the sleeping bag kill. In the unedited version, you see Jason take a sleeping bag and whacked against a tree like 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever times. And the version that we did get, it's just once, and then she's dead, which is awesome. But but they just the people at Paramount totally did not understand, that their fans because they turned it down to avoid on X rating. But I mean, it was a movie. People. I just don't get it. Had they left it in, like I said, it could have been one of the greatest Friday the 13th ever. I mean, it's one of my favorites, anyways. But just could have been so much more had they just left it in, or at least not destroyed the uncut version. Why they have to destroy it? That was a waste of money. They could have saved it. Not that it'd be nice if a better version of the original uncut version had survived or something, and I don't know, but that's just sad because this is. I mean, I love the movie anyways, but I just wonder what the original version would have looked like. I mean, we at least get to see the kills and then supposed to feature, but that would have been awesome just to see. But then the studio interference and the MPAA, and look at the stuff that which I, I dig, but just look at the stuff we have out now. I've made Hostile movies forever, but Hostile, Saw, stuff like that. Far worse than anything they cut out of here. So stupid though. And then the next movie. Jason Takes Manhattan. Why didn't they just shell out the money and have the film have it filmed in Manhattan? Because Paramount, you suck. You do not understand your fan base. At least fans of these movies, the Friday the 13th movie. But anyways, next movie. Okay, this is the Hellraiser Quartet of Terror. It's the first four movies on 4K. Yeah, I love this set. It came from released by Arrow Video, and yeah, I bought this on Orbitz. But anyways, what movie I'm going to talk about in this is the fourth one, Hellraiser Bloodline. Fun movie. Very fun movie. It takes place back in, I don't know, 1900, 1800, some then the 1990s. Then in the future, the third act, takes place in the future. You get to see three generations of the toy maker, the guy who created the Met configuration, the puzzle box. But so once again, there was an original version directed by Kevin Yeager, and the studio Dimension. They took that, and they re-edited it and did all that crap. And Kevin Yeager he wasn't having it, which I don't blame him. So they hired another director, which I think was, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was Joe Chappelle, who also directed Halloween 6. The cool thing though is that there is a work print of Hellraiser Bloodline that is apparently closer to what Kevin Yeager had in mind. It's not his, the exact version that the company, interfered with, but and I watched it. This looks really cool. It has some cool deaths. But just, once again, studio interference. It just pisses me off because we could have gotten. This could have been maybe not the best Hellraiser, but it could have been one of the best ones out of. And damn. Okay, here is the last movie I'm gonna talk. 1997. Oh yeah, the 1997 Paul Anderson classic Event Horizon. Love this movie. Love it. Um, Great cast. Lawrence Fishburne, Sam Neill, Jolie Richardson, Jack Noseworthy, and the actor who plays Cooper. He's hilarious. He was in Terminator: Sarah Connor Chronicles. He was the FBI agent. I forget his name. Anyways, Event Horizon though, great movie. Once again, there's like studio interference. There's like in this movie there's 30 minutes of lost footage, and apparently it shows what happened to the crew of the Event Horizon when they go. I guess they go to hell, and and that footage has been lost through time. But apparently there's, I think it's a work print version of or something with the lost footage, but it's not. Apparently, I think there was a version, but it just got wrecked, and is beyond repair. But I heard there's at least something out there with those 30 minutes. I don't know, but it just sucks that all these movies that could have been. I mean, they're great already, but they could have been so much better had they left in all this uncut footage. And it blows my mind why the studios just had what, did they just have no faith in the movies, or did they think that the movie going audience wouldn't have, I don't know, wouldn't have appreciated it? Because they definitely would have. Now it's just superhero movies and remakes, requels, and all that. We have gotten more original horror over the years, but Galder and studio interference, just don't. Oh well. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this, and I love all these movies. I don't know which one I would have loved to see more, Well, probably Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood, because I love Jason. Kane Hodder is my favorite Jason. House of a Thousand Corpses, though, would have been awesome too. You know, those extra minutes to see what was cut out, and all those people that were there in Argentina, to for that one film festival in 2003. I'm wondering, did someone from Argentina take it, or did I mean, did they somehow pack it up and make it to back to the USA, and then it got lost from there? I mean, who knows? It just makes you wonder. I wish there was an answer. I wish somehow someone somehow has that version, and they somehow get in touch with Rob Zombie and say, "Hey, here it is. Here's but pay me. I want," or I don't know. I mean, it's his movie, and I don't know. I'm just rambling and just doing some wishful thinking because that would have been awesome to see. Oh well. Anyways, everyone have a great day and, and enjoy your day, and I hope you're enjoying spooky season. I know I am. Deuces and take care, everyone. See you later.